The Pyrenees are a breathtaking mountain range that stretches over 300 miles along the French-Spanish border, offering a dramatic landscape of natural beauty, rich history, and vibrant culture. One of these villages, Lourdes, harbours an extraordinary history and is the subject of the 2025 summer special here at the History Scene. I'm here in the beautiful Pyrenees mountain range that forms the border between France and Spain. Nestled in its natural beauty on the French side is the charming and historic town of Lourdes. During Roman times, it was little more than a fortification with pagan temples. It was then absorbed by Christendom in the early 4th century following Rome's conversion to Christianity. It was occupied by Muslims in the 8th century and then reconquered for Christendom by the Frankish king and later Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne in the late 8th century. It was controlled by England during the 14th and early 15th centuries during the 100 Years' War until it was absorbed by France in the 15th century. Over the next few centuries, Lourdes became a sleepy rural village, not distinguished by anything, until that is 1858, when the town really acquired its fame. For it was here, on the 11th of February 1858, that the Virgin Mary appeared to a 14-year-old poor peasant girl by the name of Bernadette Soubirous, introducing herself as the Immaculate Conception. And the rest, as they say, is history. In February 1858, 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous, a poor, uneducated peasant girl, reported a series of 18 visions of a lady in a grotto by the river Gave in the small village of Lourdes. The figure identified herself as the Immaculate Conception, a title Bernadette didn't even understand at the time, lending credibility to her account. She described the figure as radiant, humble, and dressed in white. The lady asked for prayer, penance, and a chapel to be built. Skeptics doubted her, yet a spring appeared at the site, just like the lady said it would, and reports of healing drew thousands. Bernadette avoided fame, later joining a convent in Nevers, where she lived humbly until her death at the age of 35. Known for her simplicity and faith, she was made a saint in 1933, and Lourdes remains one of the most visited pilgrimage sites in the world, symbolizing faith, humility, and the mysterious power of grace. Rising above the Grotto of Massabielle, the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception is a towering expression of faith, built to honor the request of the Virgin Mary in the visions of Saint Bernadette Soubirous. Construction began in 1862, only 4 years after Bernadette's encounters. Designed by the architect Hippolyte Durand, with one side seemingly emerging from the rock, the church was consecrated in 1876. Perched high on the rock above the grotto, the basilica's graceful spire and Gothic revival style make it a striking landmark visible from across the valley. Inside, light streams through rich-colored stained glass windows, each telling the story of the apparitions and the message of the Immaculate Conception. Beneath this basilica lies the crypt, a quieter, more intimate space, which is entered along a narrow corridor, at the start of which is a bronze statue of St. Peter, who is holding the keys of the kingdom of heaven. The walls of the corridor are lined with plaques in dozens of languages, which have been offered in gratitude for prayers answered. This sanctuary, completed on Pentecost Sunday in 1866, and on which Bernadette's father himself worked, was the very first church completed here. It served as the main place of worship before the Upper Basilica was built. Although the nave is small, it contains striking thick pillars that support the huge weight of the Upper Basilica. Pilgrims today still pass through it, many pausing for silent prayer in the space that once held the earliest masses for those drawn to Lourdes. The third of the churches completed here on the site in Lourdes, after the Basilica and the Crypt, is the Basilica of Our Lady of the Rosary. Designed by architect Leopold Hardy and consecrated in 1901, it is a warm, welcoming church built to embrace the millions of pilgrims who come here each year. It was designed in a graceful Byzantine Romanesque style, with sweeping curves, a broad dome, and two arms that open like an embrace towards Rosary Square outside. The basilica's design reflects its purpose, to lead pilgrims into prayer through the mysteries of the Rosary. Inside, 15 vast chapels encircle the nave, each dedicated to a mystery. Joyful to the left of the nave, sorrowful behind the sanctuary, and glorious to the right. The mysteries are depicted in glowing mosaics created in Venice. These artworks shimmer with golden color, bringing the gospel scenes to life in a way that's both beautiful and deeply devotional. Above the main altar, a delicate light filters in, drawing the eye towards the gilded crown of the dome, which symbolizes the victory of Christ and his mother, the Virgin Mary. Outside, the grand esplanade guides pilgrims towards the church, where processions, blessings, and candlelit rosaries fill the air with prayer and song. Altogether, these churches, in addition to the underground Basilica of St. Pius X, a vast modern sanctuary built in 1958 to hold 25,000 pilgrims, embody the story of Lourdes, from a hidden grotto and a poor peasant girl to one of the world's most visited pilgrimage sites, where millions come each year seeking healing, peace, and hope.